Hi everyone, it's Frances Byrne here from Stamp House Studio, and I'm back today with another creative chat with the MFT Stamps design team. Today we are talking about embellishments. We're showing you how we store our embellishments, what our favourite embellishments are, and any tips and tricks on how to use these embellishments on stamp creations. So let's get started. We'll start over here, and you can see all these containers on this shelf here. Okay, they store my brads and my eyelets. I started off collecting eyelets because years back the only brads you could get were silver and gold, which were pretty boring. Okay, so you used to use eyelets and I loved those, but then coloured and fancy shaped brads came on the scene. And the poor eyelets kind of got neglected, but every so often I'll use them. Here you can see that my containers have various different compartments that I can store them in, type and shape and things like that. Some of them are bigger, so I can have the bigger ones, etc. So as I said, you can see this one's got fancy eyelets, you can see those in there, balloons, alphabet ones, stars, hearts, things like that. And then further down here I have some binder clips, which I also use occasionally to embellish either cards, bags or whatever. And then there's some cheap brads here. Well, they're not really cheap, I got them cheaply, so I purchased a case of each. Okay, they're quite interesting. And there's the clip-holders in those in gold and silver. And then in this little container here, sorry for going out of view all the time, I have my, oops, it's not going to open, my pearls from Kaiser Crafts, which I use quite a lot as well. Okay, and then you can see these other containers here. These bigger ones hold bigger brads. Okay, you can see the big jumbo brads in there, and then there's some smaller ones. And then in this container here I have beads, and I've got a couple of bead, oops, I'm trying to open it without spilling them everywhere. So you can see all the beads in that one. Okay, and then I've got a couple of containers that hold buttons. These are the Memory Mates buttons. They really look nice sometimes if you've got one to suit the theme that you're using. In this drawer here I just have a collection of bits and bobs that I've collected over the time. Don't know where else to put them, so if I don't know where it is, I'll look in there. And then in these little containers here, I've got a few of these, have things like there's pegs, chains, little flowers, some confettis. There's a few more up there, I don't know if you can see that, and stuff like that. Oh, and in this little container here, I showed you one of these containers last month that had my little finger dabbers in it. Well, this one has my stick pins. You've got your separate compartments, and it's just the ideal length to fit your stick pins in, so you can have those in separated into category of the different types of stick pins that I have. So I really like that container. We come over to this area over here. This is another shelving system that I have, And I have these new containers here, which I've just purchased recently. One I purchased and one I got as a Christmas gift actually. It has a lift-off top so that you can put various things in here. And then I'll show you the inside of this. You've also got a hole in the middle of the top so you can put things in there. Mine hasn't got anything in it at the moment, but I'm sure I'll fill that pretty soon. And then around the edge you have got plastic containers which you can fill with whatever. I've got, again, various brads, other little fancy rhinestoney things and stuff like that. All these plastic containers are removable, although there's no way I'm going to demonstrate how that's done one-handed. That is definitely not a one-handed job, that one. Okay, and then in this blue container here I have a collection of those little raindrops, dewdrops, whatever you want to call them. Depending on the company they're called different names, so they're in there. And then in this little container here have a few bits and bobs, mostly chipboard shapes, chipboard flowers, some chipboard Christmas ornaments which I purchased a month or two ago to use at Christmas and didn't. And that's about it in that one. Beside my desk I have this set of drawers here, and in this particular drawer here I have some other embellishments. If I don't know where to put it, it goes in here until I do find a home for it, or just some of the things that I might want to have close at hand as well. I've got a few more containers of brads. You can see I really like brads, don't you? This little box here has more brads, yes. And there's loose brads in there as well and stuff like that. And the little box behind I have adhesive rhinestones, which in various different colours. And then we'll have some more pearls and other brads and stuff like that. Candy dots, which I also like. I've got those in a few different colours. In this next drawer here I have my Hot Fix rhinestones. I have various different containers that contain different colours and sizes and various different companies as well. You can see the lower one there is a really small, and then this one here have got larger rhinestones in them. Some that MFT used to sell when they stocked rhinestones, they don't anymore. You've got some fancy shape. These aren't fancy shapes, they're circle, but they've got a texture to them, to the top of them, which are quite interesting. And then you've got some heart, oops, I'm out of shot again, some heart shapes here. And of course I wouldn't be without my Hot Fix applicator, which makes setting these rhinestones really easy. It's a lot easier than applying glue dots or glue adhesives of any type. If I have to choose a rhinestone, it's either sticky ones or these ones that are Hot Fix. This one has various different tips so that I can use different rhinestones. And then in this lower drawer here I have different flowers. This is just one lot of flowers I have some others in a few other spots. And then if we roll, just turn over here, you'll see in this large container here, I'll get this out and I'll get it packed up. You'll see flowers from wild orchids. I really do like these flowers. I got, as you can see, that box is quite full to the brim of them. I don't use them as much anymore because since I've got these, MFT came out with their awesome flower dynamics, and I love them too, and well, I love them even more actually. and so you know what I opt for when it's to put a flower on a card. Okay, and they just go back under there when I'm ready. Behind these drawers, in the shelves over here, you can see a whole heap of buttons. I have these in plastic containers. This is how they actually come. I like that you can see through the container, so you can see what type of buttons or colours or whatever is in them. One of these days I would love to sort my buttons into colours, but so far I haven't found anything that I'd really like to store them in other than these containers, and I just can't find these containers, so I can't purchase them separately, so that's going to have to wait. In these containers up here I have even more buttons. I'll show you from the back because I think it's easier to see that way. You can see how they again are stored in just various colours. And then if we go further down these shelving systems, I have things like hodgepodge hardware. And then I've got these two containers over here. The one on the right just has beads. But this one here, if I bring it up to my desk, you can see it a lot easier. We'll just open this. It has a number of containers. And this top one here, okay, it has things like some oriental embellishments, swords, charms, things like that. Plastic toothpicks, which come in handy for certain things. Chipboard, slide frames, aluminium tag frames, grommets, things like that in there. Top of my Copex storage shelving, I have my Flourish rhinestones, which I just love as well. I'll just bring them down to my desk so we can see them a little better. I just store these in an old chocolate box container, and as you can see it can hold quite a lot of packets of the flourishes in there. So you can see all those. Well, that's about it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed my tour of my embellishments. Thanks for watching.